What's up, people? Papa
What up?
Positive here. Um, I'm here today. Again, you know it, and if you don't know it, I started a movement, a positive movement, to have discussion with people about their journey, their obstacle, their project, and all these positive stuff to inspire people and to share positive vibe all around the world. Today, we have the voice of a generation. He's saying to be the very best every day. He's saying Pokemon and a lot of other good stuff. We have Jason Paige here.
Jason What's up, dude? Thank you for having me on the P Plus movement. Powerful,
Hey,
positive movement. I really like the idea, and I'm really glad that you invited me on. Pretty cool.
yeah. First of all, thank you to you to come. It's really, I'm really grateful about it. I'm really honored. So thank you so much. And I like to start with a great question. Because for me, everybody is like a unique book that deserves to be known, that deserves to be immortalized. So, if your life was a book, what would be the title and why?
What would be the title and why? Wow. Um, I cannot answer. That's a big question, bro.
Yeah, I know.
This is a big title right here. Um, I guess the title would have to be I am I?
I like it.
It's a more of a philosophical question,
Yeah,
expounding on what, the whole reality of why we're here and why we are put on this earth to give our gifts, what it is that we're here charged to do, and how we can most encompass our value and give it to the world.
yeah,
And it's what you're doing right here, P Plus Movement. I mean,
yeah.
that's your book is P Plus Movement. I think my subtitle would be, am I voice of a generation?
Yeah, of course.
Because this is one of the ways that I have encapsulated my value and transferred it to humanity.
Yeah,
Even though it's just one song and it's one vocal performance, and it was done anonymously in service of the show, not in service of myself, it has affected multiple generations in a profound way. And I
yeah,
think that's our goal, is how do we encapsulate ourselves? Am I? What am I? And I am, and what I
wow.
am given to the world. So I am I, voice of a generation.
Yeah, I like it. And for myself, yeah, you had some impact on my life just by singing that song, and all the manga as well. Like there's a story, like it's time for kids, but at the same time, like we just saw Ash that won the championship. Yeah, he tried for 25 years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I mean, of course, they keep the storylines. Very few storylines that draw out for that long. I mean,
Yeah,
you've got Star Wars that they keep going back in the storyline because they didn't
yeah,
really anticipate going so far, having a franchise that would last this long. But the Pokemon franchise has been around more than 25 years, 27, I think maybe
oh yeah,
28 years since the first Japanese version, and they are continuing to perpetuate the storyline of Ash.
yeah.
And now he can finally graduate from his stunted growth and actually maybe grow some facial hair, maybe get a real girlfriend, have some kids, start, get a real job
A real life.
driving, maybe he has a drink every now and then. I don't know.
Maybe we don't know. Yeah, talking about life, actually, like I said, people are like a book and deserve to be known. When you were younger, what no, who were you and who were you wanting to be?
Who was I what to be? Who
Yeah,
was
what
I
would you
look
want to be? Yeah,
who were my influences? Well, I was not. I grew up in in the 70s and 80s, and in the 70s there weren't any of these idols that we had to be like. We weren't trying to emulate people on television or people in movies, other than, you know, you wanted to be Spider-Man for Halloween or Superman or some of these superheroes, but you didn't really want to. I didn't really want to grow up to be Superman, I don't think, or Spider-Man. But there, I think maybe part of why I want to be the very best, like no one ever was, is because I did grow up with some of those ideas implanted in my head
Okay.
as a young child, uh, watching the TV cartoons
Yeah.
and wanting to identify with some of those characters that obviously are great, dominating the Comic-Con world today, with all the Marvel comic people and everybody dressing in cosplay. They are literally walking around being those people. I got to
Yeah.
do that once a year on Halloween, where we dress up as Superman. You buy the Superman costume for your kid. But and then as I got a little bit older, I had influences that were a little more mainstream, like Michael Jackson and Stevie
Okay.
Wonder, and I had these type of musical icons that influenced me. When I was in eighth and ninth grade, I started a band with my friends,
Okay.
and a couple of those friends like the heavy metal bands like Iron Maiden, and rock bands like Quiet Riot, and then later on we got into Queensryche and some of those other hardcore bands, and I really learned how to emulate those guys and sing in a way that was like loud. And I remember one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I was singing so high and so loud is because in rehearsal the band would be so loud, the only way you could hear yourself is if you
It's
screamed over their playing, their noodlings. So so I was influenced by some of the great singers like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and certainly by some of those heavy metal bands back in the day. But I think the first album I bought was "Ooh, She's a Little Runaway, Daddy's Girl Learned Fast, all the things she couldn't say." Bon Jovi, who
wow.
that was the first record I bought. I remember, vinyl, actual vinyl record.
My mother
So
would
they were,
like it.
yeah. So those are some of my influences. And currently I'm very influenced by a guy named Steve Aoki, who's an incredible producer, and he's a DJ, and he's also with the Pokemon cards, and he's a really smart businessman, and he's got like vertically integrated businesses. Really great, forward thinking, and super talented, and a really nice guy as well. So, you know, you got to integrate all of your businesses together and like keep yourself, you
Yeah.
know, one business supports the other business supports the other business. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. And what are some highlights of your life when you were younger? Some obstacles you had to go through and how you came through?
Cycles that I went through with what?
Obstacles you went through and how you went through?
Oh yeah. Well, I was I was born in Wichita Falls, Texas, and my dad was in the Air Force as a sax player at the
Oh,
time.
okay.
And when he got out of the Air Force, he and my mom and I moved back to Baltimore to his family. And then my parents were divorced, so I was raised by my mom from that point on. Um, I mean, my mom and the world around me. But we moved to a lot of different places. We stayed in Baltimore till the fifth grade, and then I moved to Florida in the sixth grade. So I went from the fifth grade in Baltimore to fifth grade in Florida, and fifth to sixth grade in Florida was a jump to middle school.
Okay.
So I went fifth and sixth in Florida, and then we moved to New York, where sixth grade was back in elementary school. And then I did sixth and seventh in Brooklyn, eighth grade in Queens, and then ninth grade on the Upper West Side at Fame,
Wow.
live forever. I want to learn how to fly. Hey! The Fame School. But one of the challenges was to sort of integrate myself into all of those different school
Yeah.
environments. You know, when the new kid in the school
Mhm.
is always the kid that you know, everybody's already formed their groups, they already know
Yeah.
what's going on, they already have their friend circles, and I was the new kid in the sixth grade, in the seventh grade, in the eighth grade, and in the ninth grade. Four sequential grades I had to adapt to a new school
Yeah.
environment.
It's not
And I
easy.
think that's a really, you know, a difficult thing, but it actually is a very important thing for us to learn how to become adaptable in many environments. It builds our skills, and it's one of the things that has transferred into my professional career, where I adapt to a different musical style, or a different actor, or different emotion, and a different motive for every different session I do. Pokemon is one motive, and then when you get nausea, heartburn, indigestion, that stomach diarrhea is Pepto Bismol. It's another thing, and I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Michael Jackson wanted a whole different
Yeah.
thing, and Georgia, Georgia, oh, day to get an old sweet sound. Ray Charles
Wow.
wanted another thing, and then Michael. Michael Jackson needed somebody to rap in black and white and protect you for gangs, clubs, and nations, cause a great fit human relations. It's a turf war. So I was able to
Wow.
do many different styles and many different voices, adapting myself to many different scenarios. Every session, I'm adapting to, different
Yeah.
people in there, different studios, different requirements. And I think getting into a school, different schools like that was my
Help you.
training ground for the professional world.
Wow. That's it. Wow, that's fantastic. You took something that was difficult and you transposed it on something positive. I like it so much. And
That's the point. That's the point. Yeah. We grow from our adversity. And
yeah,
if you're sheltered, if you're not exposed to any skill building challenges, then you can go out into the world not knowing how to fend for yourself in different environments.
so true, so true. Um, is there something you would have done differently in your life?
Um, um, wow, well, no, not really, because I think we're all independently unique, and we're
Yeah,
independently unique because of all of those challenges. And it's kind of like the butterfly effect. If I would have done one other thing different, then everything else wouldn't be where it is today, and there's
yeah,
really no
so
way
true.
to know. It's more about accepting that even though you had something that you might have been like, oh, I should have taken that, and I would have hit the, I would have bet on the zero on the roulette wheel when I put the 10 chips down on the black instead, and it landed on zero. I would have made $6 million right then and there. All right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that
yeah.
$6 million, then I would have bought something and been somewhere else, living in a different environment, in a different area, wouldn't have the love that I have around me right now, because I'd be somewhere else, and I would never have an acceptance of what is right now, our reality right now in this moment. Me with you on this
Yeah.
particular podcast wouldn't have happened had I bet on green instead of black. So
So true.
I think we all do what we do to learn what we need to learn. And even if you made a mistake and things didn't turn out the way you wanted to, that mistake is information that you can use, and that is also a path that you can accept, brings you somewhere else. Like, it's kind of a spiritual thing. It's kind of fate. It's kind of, sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs. Just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Basically, you want
Yeah,
something and he says, no, it's not going to happen. And that's an actual gift.
yeah. It's like kind of failure doesn't really exist. It's more learning than failure,
Yep.
I guess. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
totally true.
Exactly.
And what are you the most proud of in your life?
Pride is one of the deadly sins. In the seven deadly sins, pride is one of them. And I think pride is when you think that you are better than somebody else, that you've done something the right way, that you have some sort of, richness about you that supersedes somebody else. So I try not to get involved with pride too
Okay.
much.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like your
you
answer.
know,
That's the first time somebody
I'm
tell me that.
I mean, it's right there in the seven deadly sins. It's death when you're proud of something. Now, I think that I do the work, and I'm glad I did the work, and I think the work is good. But
Okay,
then
yeah.
the pride is a different sort of angle on it that can be dangerous, because then, yeah, you've done good work, but now it's like you're boasting of that good work and
Yeah, I
how
know
it's
what you mean.
good. And you could boast about your bad work too. I mean, pride doesn't have a qualification on it. I'm
Hmm.
proud that I shot that guy yesterday. I mean, like, you could be proud about something bad. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
just an
think you just
interesting.
changed my mind. My mind.
Check it out, Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, I will. I will for sure. And about singing, when did you really start to sing?
Uh, you sing as soon as you come out of the womb crying. You're belting out that first scream, that first cry, and it's a note. Right there, you're singing as soon as you come out. It's when do we stop singing that is the interesting part. Even when we're even when we're talking, it's just like singing. 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 Everything is made up of rhythms and pitches,
So
and
true.
it's when we disconnect from the creative self and realize and think that we're not being creative and we're not improvising and we're not actually singing, not actually singing, not actually singing, not actually singing. It's always pitch and rhythm, always pitch and rhythm. So we are told to shut up because we're singing too long and too high and too loud for our parents. Because we're very excited about, ooh, she's a little runaway, or go speed racer, go speed racer, go, or gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
Yeah.
And people are they're like, your parents are like, be quiet, shut up, you're making too much noise. And that's when we kind of we stop, we get
Yeah.
self-conscious about what we're doing, and we stop expressing ourselves in that way. But it's it's inherent to the human experience to express in that way, and sound is a very moving and powerful force for change, for health, for structuring water. And the water and the that our bodies is made of requires sound in order to be properly functional. So we need to get back into it and need to realize that the vibrations we make are more than just words and pitch and sound, but they actually affect reality. And I think that's one of the reasons why people were affected by the Pokemon theme song, because they received the vibrations and they get those vibrations and they interpret them in their own way that
Yeah.
that supports their play. And it's not a dude up there. Um, like Michael Jackson, which is one of the
Yeah.
main comments on my YouTube channel. Uh, People say, "Oh, I thought it was Michael Jackson," but if it was a guy with a band performing the Pokemon theme song, it would have taken away from the imagination of the child to just hear the sound and to be awash in this energetic sonic experience that inspires
Yeah.
them. So yeah, it's we're always singing. Music is everywhere, and sound is extremely important.
Yeah, and it's a way to kind of express ourselves, like you said, and open our heart too. Like,
Yes, it's how we open our heart. I mean,
yeah,
is the heart spins the blood around in a
yeah,
vortexing shape throughout, and when it does this, it structures the blood so that the blood can move through the body. It's an energetic center of your body. It's electric. It's part of the energy source. So sound as well is waves of energy. So the heart actually speaks through that energetic
yeah,
field that it puts out, I think.
yeah. It's so interesting, actually. Yeah, I like the way you're saying it. How did you become the singer of Pokemon team?
Um, at the time, I was doing lots of jingles in New York City. As I had said, I changed my voice into many different things to do Subway Express, the quick picker upper. Be all that you can be. Do-do-do-do-do, always Coca-Cola. You know, all these different jingles. And I sang
Yeah.
for a company. I sang Domino's Pizza Delivers. And that company, Paradise Music, got the contract to do the English Pokemon theme song after it had already been out in Japan. And I had worked for them, and they basically got whatever instructions they got from Pokemon about what the song was supposed to sound like, and they thought that my voice would be a good fit for it, or that they
Wow.
could that I could, change my voice into whatever it is they wanted. That would be a good fit for it, and I was hired by them to do the paid demo. It's usually a paid demo when we do these sessions. We don't
Okay.
know if it's going to be accepted as a final
Okay.
product, but we know that we're getting paid a small amount in order to do the demo. And then the demo went, and the rest is history. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
in the session, it they started out with "Catch 'em if you can, Pokemon," and "Catch 'em if you can" was rejected, and they went
Okay.
for "Gotta Catch 'em all" after that.
Yeah.
So, and then the rest is history from that point on.
It is. It is. Actually, my son is looking at that right now. He likes it
Oh
so
wow, it's
much.
cool, so cool.
What message would you have for yourself from past, present, or future if you had one option?
Um, I think I would say that commit to the brick that you're laying at that time, but know that there's a larger structure that you're building. We get so like wrapped up in I'm not there. People feel like they're not there, and they're so frustrated by not getting there. And you're always there. You're
Okay.
just there in the small way that you're there every day. And this larger structure, this larger goal that you want to have has to be somewhere in your consciousness, but it, it's still just a concept. What's really happening is this interview right now,
Yeah.
not the 25 million views that we're going to get on it. Only what's happening right now. If we're too focused on the 25 million views, then we don't invest in the moment right here, because we're somewhere else. And I'm trying to be here right now, which is interesting
Yeah.
because your question is, if you could be somewhere else, what would that person somewhere
Yeah.
else say to
And you
you
want to
right
be
here?
here. Yeah.
Right. So, I think a lot of your questions are in that very profound place, and they require us to think about things in a more ethereal place, in an ethereal way.
Yeah. I like to make people thinking, actually. I like having
Yeah.
discussion
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And yeah, actually, that's another question, like you mean. What inspired you from yourself?
Um, I'm inspired by myself when I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
When I last I had an event that I was at. It's called Collecticon. We're doing another one the last week of February in Orlando. But I
Okay.
performed at this event on Saturday and Sunday. And on Saturday I performed, and then I had to go out, and I had all these other events that I was doing, and I didn't have proper water hydration for me. I drink this, but with water when I'm on tour, called Mountain Valley Spring Water. It's in glass bottles, green glass
Okay.
bottles, and it's really good for you. It hydrates you really well. It's very good water when I'm traveling, and I can't get my own water, which I do here. I get water, but anyway, I
Yeah.
wasn't hydrated. And the second day, I got up Sunday morning. I had no voice.
Oh no.
I had nothing. I was just talking like this. All you can really hear was that, maybe a little bit more than that. I was like, what am I gonna do? Oh no, what am I gonna do? So I just kind of like screw. I tried to warm up. I tried to do all kinds of things that I thought were going to restore my voice and revive my voice. And and right before I went on, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to ask everybody to sing. The Pokemon theme song is "You teach me, and I'll teach you, Pokemon." It's fucking high. Sorry, excuse
It
my language,
is.
but it's freaking
No.
high.
Yeah.
So I have to be kind of warmed up to do it, and there was nothing coming out. And when I got up there, something about the adrenaline and the relaxation and just trust that I sang my face off, and all the stuff that literally was not there all came back, like almost like the woman whose kid gets caught under the car. She's 80 years old and she can lift the car up to pull the
Yeah.
kid out because she has this adrenaline.
I don't
So
know. Yeah.
it's almost as if the body is trying to do something, but it is capable of rearranging all of the molecules in my throat to change the
Wow.
physical capability of my voice instantly, like that. You can lift that truck that you're physically not able to
Yeah.
lift if put in the right situation. So I'm super impressed by the miracle of my body and all the autonomous situations that happen in it, that no supercomputer could even, no AI could even get even close to comparing to. It is a magnificent system that, if we treat it well and if we give it the right fuel, the right
Yeah.
water, the
Yeah.
right air, the right love, the right touch, the right nutrients, it can do incredible things.
Yeah. It's so true. We just have to give love to our. It's like we are our own car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Our
gotta, and
vehicle.
you gotta be your own mechanic, and
Yeah.
you gotta know how the car works. And, we're trusting all these other mechanics with our cars and appealing to authority. And I think it's causing extreme amounts of harm in our society, and it's disabling us from being our own mechanics of our own bodies,
Yeah.
our own soul. And, the more they are out there trying to fix us, the less capable we are of fixing ourselves, and they don't fix us right anyway. So
No. Exactly. We have to do it
we
ourselves.
we have to do it ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. And now it's the time for, because I had my challenge to have at least one discussion with one
All right.
person of each country in the world. So now it's USA, because actually you're from USA. So that's the cultural part now. Tell me one thing you would like people to know about USA.
The more freedom you have, the more assholes you have. That's kind of what I think is going on. That,
Okay.
you have more freedom, but you also have more freedom to be a jerk.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that, and they also have more freedom to thrive and to be great and to give love and to
Mhm.
create value and to do all these amazing things as well.
Yeah.
But you also are are free to be kind of an idiot. And so we have a lot of idiots here, as well as a lot of really
Good people.
productive, powerful, good people. And I think that, it's I don't know what the ratio is. I don't want to give a number on it, but because, there's a lot of idiots and there's a lot of productive people. But, the more freedom, and I only learned this through traveling through other countries, and we could see it very starkly. The people were so much nicer and so much more well behaved in the countries that had no freedom, where they were really locked up, like Dubai and Qatar and other places where, they cut your hands off if they catch you doing
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Those people were super nice, super friendly. Everything was clean. They're totally well behaved. That everybody was, was no trash. They were very socially conscious. They were very well kept. The Everything worked really well. I mean, like, so there was a lot of niceties, I think, is the word.
Okay.
A lot of, it was like, wow, this place is evolved and everybody was
Yeah.
really nice. But the reality is they're very nice within the lanes that they're allowed to be in. And it just kind of expanded out from that when we went to other countries, where you'd have a little bit more freedom, but then you have a little bit more
Yeah.
jerks walking around doing things. And till you get back here, and you just got people that are just complete idiots doing whatever they want, being totally disrespectful and disregarding. But you can also create your own reality. You can create
Yeah.
your own abundance
Of course.
and empires here. So
Yeah. We all have our reality anyway. So it's
yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah. So true. And what do you like the most about your culture, about USA?
Um, I like culturally the diversity that we have here. Well, we have a diverse amount of land and
Yeah,
topography and geography. So that gives all the people here, and this is the freedom to be all these different things in all these different areas. So it is really a melting pot. But and in the pot, all of this the sections people section off, and sometimes they mix all together in the cities, and sometimes they create whole areas where they're not mixing and they're doing their own thing. And then
yeah,
you can go into those areas and be like, wow, these are just Amish people. They're not using electricity. They're totally on their own thing. They're
oh
horse-drawn
yeah,
carriages, and they're building their own houses by hand in a community. And then, you can go into uh, in every city, there's a Chinatown or there's a little
okay,
Asian town, and then they're, fully culturally rich with their own countries, foods and products and
that's awesome.
cultural things. So you can kind of see everything that everybody that's come here in their little communities really doing things and being productive in those communities and
Yeah,
being assholes to everybody else and kicking everybody else out because they're doing a thing a certain way and they have the freedom to do that. So that I like that we have this experiment, and within our experiment, everybody else is able to experiment to large degrees. I think
okay,
that's one of the things that is being really jeopardized here
yeah,
with our federal government that wants to control everybody, keep everybody in the same situation, and really, govern. When you're governing,
yeah,
when you have when your job is to make sure everybody's okay and everybody's doing different things, it's harder to do that if everybody's doing the same thing and everybody's needs are the same, and then you can keep track of everybody in an easier way. So one of
yeah,
the
makes sense.
benefits and the cultural sort of things that is great here is our ability to be experimental and to be diverse. And I hope that we continue to be that way in the face of the conformity that the leadership wants to
Yeah,
impose.
yeah, to be continued, I guess.
Yeah,
And
to be
that's an
continued.
awesome answer. And if we have a topical day in USA from your sense, I mean, from according to you, what do we eat?
Here, what do we eat if you come here? Well, with me, you're gonna eat organic vegetables that we can get from a farmer's market, where we can
Okay,
ask them what they, there's farmers markets all the time in Los Angeles and New York City even, from local farmers, and you can ask
nice.
them what they grow their food with, because if you
Okay,
trust the general culture, you don't really know what you're getting.
no,
And
no, you
so
don't.
but you can actually find out through local farmers how they grow their food. And I actually go and get my water from a mountain spring about an hour outside of Los Angeles. It is
Okay,
4,000 feet up into the mountains, and I bring 15 bottles and I fill them up and I store them and use that water as my drinking water and my
okay,
cooking water. And it's really great. So you can actually get the highest quality things here, but you have to look for them. So it's and that's pretty cool
yeah.
that you can do that. And the other thing I and I don't get it from here often, but sometimes is grass finished beef as well. So I am
Oh, that's
all organic vegan except for this one nutrient that I support these very well bred and kept animals that live incredible lives,
yeah.
that they get loved in their life, and then
That's
I
better.
love them in their I love them in their afterlife as well, as they go to
Yeah,
support me living to my highest by providing me with the highest nutrient density that my
yeah.
body needs. Now, my
That you
miracle
need.
body that we talked about before,
Yeah,
I think it
exactly.
needs to have that. Yeah.
Okay, and what do we do then if we are doing a typical day in USA?
Well, yeah, like I said, it depends on where you are in the incredible diverse reality of every
Yeah,
city and all the millions of things that you can do. In New York, all you have to do is walk around and you are just in just epic awe of everything that's around you that mankind has built with incredible engineering and technology and work and value and ingenuity. You can see it in the buildings, you can see it in the products, you can see it in the transportation. That every single thing is just like this amazing imagination of human beings to create the city. Same city that you can get anywhere else, but New York is
Yeah.
especially huge and continuing to be developed at all times. I've been primary resident of New York for many years since the ninth,
Okay.
since 1986 actually. Um, sorry, 84 in Manhattan, and I still have not seen everything in that very small 4 to 7 mile area. Uh, because they're continuing to build more cool stuff. If you're in LA, there's a city environment downtown that's pretty cool, but LA has these incredible mountains that stretch out
Okay.
towards the beach and go all the way back up into the ski area east. And so you can really like be on top of the world in Los Angeles on these
Wow.
incredible roads that just wind through Los Angeles and vicinity. And we've got the ocean here. We've got the city here. We've got the mountains here. We've got a lot of really good geography in Los Angeles. So,
I
that's the country is huge and there's so
yeah.
many things and so much. The deserts are amazing. The rivers are amazing. The mountains are amazing. The snow area is amazing. The beach area is amazing. There's just so much that you can do.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
Gives me the will to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Come
never
on.
traveled before. Yeah, I will. I will for sure. I'll
Get
come.
over here. Get over here.
I will. I will. That's sure. And I'm always asking what music we would listen to. I guess we would listen to Jason Page.
I have done so many demos and so many of my own recordings that I have about 4,000 songs on my own loop. So I listen to those because nobody else is listening to them,
I
and they're
do.
all like really. I mean, you do. I mean, I have some stuff that's out there, but the majority of it, I only have a handful of things that have been publicly released. But
Yeah.
I
Okay.
listened to my own Jason Page radio, and I started putting it on my website. Some other things and demos and little known things that I thought were interesting to put up there. And I have been releasing music with the DJ named I know AIN0, and
Yeah,
we
I
are
saw
going
that.
to. It's really cool. I love singing over and collaborating with people on that are producers on their tracks. Um, and but if I was going to listen to music, I either go for the nostalgic bump of something that I was really connected to, like "Babe, I'm leaving." I say it once again, Sticks, or "I see a little silhouette of a
Oh
cat."
yeah.
Mountain Dew, time to do the slam dango. Oh, that was a Mountain Dew commercial, but it was the Queen song Bohemian Rhapsody. Or besides that, I like to listen to things that I don't know what it is when it goes. You know what I mean? When I don't know what's happening, music that just comes out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It sounds like crazy Burning Man music. You're walking by. You know about Burning Man? You heard
Yeah.
about Burning
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a place where all the music is something you've never heard before.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what it is that I'm hearing and hear. Oh, it's these chords and it's that kind of guitar part and it's these harmonies. It's like, what the fuck was that? I have no idea what just happened. Oh my God, he just created a thing, or there was music that I don't know where it came from or what it was about. I like to be surprised. In other words.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for myself, we were talking about your song before that. I really love the version you did for Imagine.
Oh yeah. My duets.
Yeah,
Video bomb is what I call it. It's a video
yeah,
bomb.
yeah. I like this one and the one you did with Johnson Young as well of Pokemon
Oh yeah,
Team.
that was great.
I listen
That
to
was
this
great.
one every day.
Yeah, that's the best Pokemon theme remake that exists. That's out there for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it too. And
Yeah. He's great.
if we go about projection a little bit and commitment, what are your projects and how you imagine them growing up? Do you have some project going on?
I have some projects going on right now. I've got Lego Mania, Lego Mania. The actual Lego Mania theme song that I wrote in 1995 is getting a remix, and we're
Oh
going
wow,
to put that remix out for all of the Lego community to
really?
use and to be inspired by. And when they find out that the Lego Mania guy is the Pokemon guy, their heads are going to explode. Um, I am I'm doing a show on March 4th in Palm Springs. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Palm Beach,
Oh,
Florida, where I'm doing a concert, and it's going to have some of my songs with Ino. It's a Pokemon theme song, the remix, and some other songs like I got random cultural tropes to love, like apple pie and OJ's glove. Yeah, the song I sang from Rick and Morty, and maybe some other stuff from other Jason Page greatest hits, like "You Make Me So Very Happy." I'm so glad you came into my life. I'm so very happy, baby. Which is a song from Blood,
wow,
Sweat, and Tears. I sang with
wow.
that band for a little while. And because I'll be in Palm Beach singing Pokemon songs, Palm Beach is also a retirement community. So they might
Okay.
know my work with Blood, Sweat, and Tears as well. But yeah, I'm working on that show, promoting that show. If anybody's in the Palm Beach area, March 4th, come on down. You can go to my website,
Yeah, yeah.
jasonpage.com, and you'll see the beats and breaks
Okay.
the beats. It's called Beats and Breaks because I was doing little Pokemon pack breaks during the show where I open a Pokemon pack
No way.
and sing down the cards as they come out, which is
Okay.
really
That's
fun with
awesome.
a band accompanying me and the looper going at the same time. So it gets really exciting if we pull
Oh, I need to
the
see
good
that.
cards.
I need to hear
Yeah,
that.
you can see it on my YouTube channel, where we pulled the Charizard. It's really a fun video. You can check that out
Okay. Yeah, I
already.
will
We
go
did it
for
in
sure.
Vegas last year, and then I'm going to be at all the Collecticons this year.
Okay.
Collecticon is a collectors convention that goes around to major cities, and the first one is in last weekend of February in Orlando, and that's going to be really great. And so, yeah, my music is getting out there. This stuff with DJ Ino and I is really cool. I love singing it, and we're going to be starting to perform it around live and to convert everybody so that they don't just see me as the guy who sang all these jingles and all these,
Yeah.
you know, catch the feeling, catch that feeling. Oh, Coca Cola. So I'm not the Coca Cola, the Rick and Morty, the Subway
Yeah. No, no, you're
Express.
more than that.
I'm a singer with an actual artist repertoire of
Yeah.
songs that can move you as well. And then I throw in my hit song, the Pokemon theme song, in my set. And it's kind of like Barry Manilow. I'm kind of trying to be a cross between Barry Manilow and Steve Aoki. Barry Manilow
Wow.
sang, a whole bunch of really great hit songs, but he also sang "You Deserve a Break Today at McDonald's" and some jingles that were back. Just
Yeah.
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. He sang, a couple of jingles that are really big back in the day, and he went on and did his music as well. So that's kind of where I am.
Yeah, and I like that. And I actually did a post on Facebook like a couple of weeks ago telling people that you are way more than that.
Oh
And
yeah, thank you, thank
yeah,
you.
no, no, you are actually. I really like what you're saying and singing. I said,
Yeah, that's why I
yeah,
have that picture of me with the all of the greatest brands behind me and all the companies that I've worked for. It helps people see that I'm not just Pokemon. It's one of 100 things that go on.
yeah, actually, yeah. And I hope people will listen to that discussion and see that you are way more than that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. In conclusion, I have that question. I really like to tell to ask people at the end of your life, what would you like people to remember about you and say about you?
Uh, abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, abundance, gratitude, health, love. I think maybe it's just these four words that I sing every morning that can help people to create abundance, gratitude, abundance through gratitude,
Wow.
health, and love in their lives. And that I was a generator of abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, health, love. That I was a generator of abundance, gratitude, health, and love, basically. I have a
Wow.
track on my YouTube channel that is exactly that. Abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, health, love, abundance, gratitude, health, love. And it just goes on and on, and I sing it every
Yeah.
morning with
Okay.
my or I play the YouTube video, and I think about that. Actually, check it out. I got it on my phone, on my screen right there.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Um, that's the screenshot of the video, and
Okay.
it helps me to create that. And I think that it at the end of my life, I'd like people to say yes. Jason Page helped me to create abundance, gratitude, health, and love in my life.
Wow.
It's what I'm trying to create in my life, and I actually do it through this technique right here that you can see behind me.
Yeah.
It says use imagination to creatively self-express. 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 You've gotta use your imagination to create things, love. You've gotta do something with sensation that makes you feel like you're part of something that uses imagination to creatively make things real. All you gotta do is open your mind and feel. Use imagination to create a thing of use imagination to creatively self-express. 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 That's pretty
Wow.
much
What a
it.
show. I know why you are the very best now. Thank you for that, seriously.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Talking about grateful, we have two questions left. Are you grateful about somebody in your life, and would you have a message for that person?
Yes, I'm grateful for my mother and her ability to transcend her own uh, difficult upbringing and to do the opposite of what her parents did to her.
Oh, wow.
So, to basically learn from the mistakes that were
Yeah.
made in her and to not be a victim of those mistakes, but to turn around and bake the cake that is me with all the good nutrients that were not put into the cake that she was.
Wow. I think we have that in common, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. My mother. So that's awesome. We salute her,
yeah. I celebrate my mother's birthgiving day on my birthday. Happy birthgiving day to her. Happy birthgiving day to her. Happy birthgiving day to my mother, Charlie. Happy birthgiving day to her. She did all the work.
wow, I really like it. Thank you for that. And yeah, last question. That's the really important one.
Okay.
What makes you accept to come to talk to me, and how was the experience?
Oh, I'm glad that you asked me. I mean, your motive is about positivity,
Yeah,
and that's very inspiring because it's a choice that we make. Mainstream news programs and most of the clickbait on the internet is trying to get your participation through negative means, through things that are fear based or things that are awful, ambulances and people getting hurt and destruction and tragedy, and it's a choice. There's
yeah,
just as many fabulous, positive, powerful things, positive things that we can attract people with, and if we start to promote those things, then we can attract them in our lives. If you promote negative things, then you tend to attract them in your life. So
yeah.
I
So
was
true.
impressed that you made that commitment to the positive title of your podcast.
Nice, really. Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome. Thank you.
I hope you like the experience.
Oh yeah, it was great. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you to you. Really, I appreciate. And now, how do we finish that?
How do we finish?
Yeah.
We go out with a hit, out with a hit. That's how we finish it. Going out with a hit. We go out with a hit, out with a hit. That's how we finish it. We going out with a hit. We go out with a hit, out with a hit. That's how we finish it. We going out with a hit. We go out with a hit, out with a hit. How we finish it. We go out with a hit. We go out with a hit, out with a hit. How we finish it. We going out with it. We go out with it. Out with it. How we finish it. We going out with it. We go out with it. Out with it. That's how we finish it. We going out with it. We go out with it. Out with it. That's how we finish it. We going out with it. We going out with it. Jason Paige is on it. We going up and spitting on that shit. And I'm keeping going out with it for the positive podcast. Yes, that's it. Jason Page is on the stage and he's on the mic and he's getting it played on the positive podcast. With it, that's how you liking it. Tell me that you liking it. We going out with it. Out with it. That's how we finish it. We going out with it. Out with it. Out with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Out with it.
Thank you so much. That was Jason Page. Thank you, people. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. And people, let's go.
JasonPage.com for all the Jason Page merchandise. The trainer cards are available right now. We've got a special deal going on these. If anybody wants one of these things signed, come on with it. Let's go.
Let's go, people, and have a good night. Ciao.
Good night, my friend.